A lot of points to put into boys here. We're gonna have a bunch of guys visiting this week as well, and we're gonna throw 2 more onto that pile as well. Come hang out. I know that you're garbage, but you're worth some XP, and XP is very important. All positions. We only have 25 guys on the board at this point, and we're not going to get all of them. 24, 23. But we don't have room for all of them anyways. So we're going to take the guys who end up being the best, and the rest of them are going to get cut, essentially. If we had the lead, they won't get points to start with. There's going to be some guys that I think we just throw all of our points into in the offseason. Try to get the best players possible. And hope for the best. Actually don't need points into Ray McDonald here because we do have the lead. Even though it doesn't really matter because a lot of these guys are dookie anyways. Oh, we still had 350 points put in. My apologies, guys. Just throw them at this guy. Because it doesn't matter. Way far down on the board, those guys aren't going to really get to see any playing time, even if they do come here. So we'll call it good. We'll advance to the conference championship week. Happy with our, like, 3-5 or 3-6 or 7 or whatever. Yeah, like 3-7 conference record. No. Yeah, no, 3-6. 3-6 conference record. But you know, it'll be interesting. And try to figure out what our conference schedule for our out of conference schedule for next year is going to be, and how many losses we're going to give ourselves. There's a chance that we could beat a mediocre Power 5 team, I think. But anybody who's ranked is going to be tough. As that's nice to see. We get a commit, a 3-star prospect, and our coordinators level up, which is not all that easy. It doesn't happen very often. Go to the skill tree. And, nope, that's not it. We want, yeah, better rushing, or rushing. I don't know how words work anyways, and we'll just get a little bit of, injury and stamina. Jeff, I don't know if we're gonna do any custom guys on this one, just because of the way that it works out. But I think on the next one we might. I'm not sure yet. Honestly, I'm undecided about that. I know for a fact if we made a good recruit, though, that they wouldn't come to us, so we wouldn't get to see him really anyways. Do you think we'll get a bowl invite? There's a chance, right? Yes. Najee Harris wins the Heisman. Good for you. Jalen Hurts with 13 total points, or votes, I guess. That's not very good. Khalil Tate, unsurprisingly, is up there. In game, he's gonna get play calls that work for him a lot better than what someone's gonna give him in real life. And at the end, surprising that it's so many running backs on this list. And I can't imagine that any of our players are gonna get any awards. So I guess we'll just take a look at the bowls and see if anybody. If any of these are special. Fucking, what a bad bowl. New Mexico and Stanford playing in the New Mexico Bowl. It feels bad if you're Stanford. Oh, or Oregon State actually gets a real matchup in the Holiday Bowl. It's been a long time since that has happened. UTEP Fresno in the Armed Forces Bowl. That's a good one. Auburn Ohio State in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. That's considering their records, that's a pretty solid matchup. This is with updated rosters as well. So this is a Bo Nix led Auburn and Justin Fields led Ohio State. Struggled on the seasons, 6-6, 7-5. South Carolina, Michigan. It's no Florida, Michigan, but that's a top 16 matchup, top 20. Both 9-3. Georgia, Nebraska. That's all right in the Outback Bowl. I imagine Georgia wins that. Oregon, Iowa in the Rose Bowl. 11-2 Oregon, 9-4 Iowa. Kind of expecting that Oregon wins that. No homer whatsoever. UCF, Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. A&M, Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl. Texas, Nevada in the Orange Bowl. Nevada went 13-0 and ends in the top 10. Curious to see if they can win that one. Florida, Baylor, Cotton Bowl, and the National Championship. Bama, Clemson, as always. We'll go ahead and go to the... How do we go to it? Scores and schedules, and sim through a couple of these. The more interesting ones, of course. Let's see. Any that are... Let's see. Yeah, we'll start with this game between Iowa and Oregon, and I'm going to be sad right away. Probably. I didn't see the results. I never saw it pop up. And Oregon wins in overtime. Interesting that it gets to that point. I'm fine with it. Oklahoma, UCF in the Fiesta Bowl. What is it gonna be? I wish it didn't need to autosave between all of these, but that's where we're at. And Oklahoma, probably unsurprisingly to me, with the rosters that both of these teams have, has no problem putting the UCF Knights away. And how about Virginia Tech, Texas A&M? Virginia Tech takes that one. Not what I expected. That's the number 4 team losing to the number 10 team. Florida Baylor, another top 10 in the Cotton Bowl. I would expect Florida to get this, even though in real life, I don't know if this matchup would happen, but 31-10, yeah, no problem. I'm curious to know, if this Florida squad didn't have Franks, what would happen? Texas, Nevada, this is for my conference pride. Go Mountain West. We proudly lost to Nevada earlier in the season. I think that was like our 4th game or something. And they're going to represent by, getting beat by 35 points. Big ups to you guys, Nevada, 13-1. Couldn't do the perfect season. And then the BCS National Championship, Alabama and Clemson, 12-1, 13-0. I don't remember who Bama lost to. And they come out and win a close one to take it by 3, 35-32. Clemson came out quick in the first half. 14 in the first, 10 in the second. And Bama just 14 through the first half. All Bama in the second. Nice little pass play and a run. And the touchdown to take the lead. Clemson was able to score and get that 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game, but just didn't have enough time. Only 3 minutes left when they won, or when they had last scored. It's just not enough. Sucks to suck. Not a whole lot of rushing yards. A lot of this was through the air. 388 passing yards for Bama. Oh, incredible. And since we don't have a bowl game, I guess we'll call it that. We already know who won the Heisman. I guess we can look at some All-Americans. Khalil Tate, interestingly enough, is the quarterback, a first-team All-American quarterback Shane Lemieux. No surprise from Oregon. I would be pretty happy if the Ducks won a Rose Bowl this year. Judy is second team. Some interesting stuff. A lot of Arizona. Jake Hansen. A lot of Ducks on this second team. Kind of some interesting stuff. Freshman. Of course, there's going to be a Tyrone Quad X. Like I said, New Mexico obviously wasn't finished on the thing that I downloaded. Kayvon Thibodeau. Not surprising to see from the Ducks. Kale Wright hasn't really seen much playing time in real life. A lot of Bama. A solid amount of Clemson. And Georgia. Actually, a lot of Clemson. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at this. All these award winners. And they couldn't win it. They couldn't take the natty home. GG. Let's advance to the offseason. Get out of this shit. 4-8. Not a bad record for the end of the first season. Not bad at all. Very curious to see what our team's overall looks like and how the guys train up, because when we adjusted their height, we lowered some stats, and there's a chance that they regain those stats normally, the normal progression where like speed you get a couple, or there's a chance that because they're so low they get jacked up. I know, like, with low catching on a wide receiver, those stats will get pretty high. We're also going to have to make some interesting decisions about position changes, because most of the guys who are 6'7" or taller are linemen or occasional linebackers and wide receivers, and some tight ends, but it's a lot of like tackles, guards, and tight ends. So we're going to have to figure out, who's going to make a better corner, as a position change. It's gonna be interesting. Certainly won't be easy. In a recruiting battle, we ranked top 10 in the nation in rushing touchdowns. Good for us. It's because passing inside the red zone didn't work out well for us. Our job security is safe, even though we went 0-1 versus rivals in the top 25 and didn't hit our target wins per year, but can't complain about it. We got a C as our coach prestige, and I'd say we're in a good spot. See who wants to leave us. I'm sure we'll get some people trying to transfer out, but we shouldn't have anybody declaring, since we have only underclassmen this year. And if we have guys transferring, hopefully they're not great, and we can just replace them. Hopefully it's like a redshirt sophomore that we can replace with a true freshman off of this recruiting class, because I'm not really sure we have any open scholarships, even though we've gotten a couple commits, just due to the way that the team is set up right now. Should be interesting. We're gonna have a mass exodus of players at the end of year 4. And who knows, maybe we redshirted a couple guys. So I've been lied to, because when I was first lurking, we had no seniors. At least I never saw any. We're gonna miss Waylon Rooney. That's pretty much it, though. Not a whole lot being lost here. 76 overall. We do want to keep Deontay Marshall. Sure, he's going to transfer for playing time, but we'll give him the promise of playing in 6 games and hope for the best. He's got to talk to his folks. Wow, what the hell? You can't promise interceptions. 80 tackles? That's a lot of tackles. We'll promise it. Okay, he's staying. We just had to play Marshall in the season opener. That was rough. So I guess I have no clue about my team then. I own Madden 25. We'll export it. I almost reached for my computer keyboard. Wow. 1. If I could get to the 1. Oh, there we go. You never know. Maybe we, rip all these tall guys over in the whole draft class. And, play with, some team in Madden 25. I doubt it, but there's a chance. Don't think we'll get too many people trying to transfer here, but there's a chance maybe we pick up somebody. Anybody who comes in who does not meet the height requirements will be given the secret sauce, and they'll grow normally. Obviously nobody got drafted for us, and nobody wants to transfer to us either. Not surprised. Not surprised whatsoever. Very curious. We're gonna basically just dump all our points into the best players on our recruiting board here to make sure that we get them. Because really, there's not a whole lot of point in us trying to pick up, 50 overall guys. If we could do better than that, if we have like a 70 or something, it just makes more sense in my opinion. And we're close to leveling up as a coach, so that's nice as well. Check this by overall. We already got our top player. So I guess we'll just throw some points towards a few guys, make sure we try to lock them up. Fred Davis is a JUCO player. And Danny Brown as a quarterback is going to be nice. He'll sit out a couple of years, but finding tall quarterbacks is not easy. And just throwing points towards some of these guys. Chris Miller, we do want. If Georgia and West Virginia are still looking at him, then we're also going to be looking at him and see if maybe we can throw a ton of points at him and snag him. Art Davis, we don't need to put a whole lot into. Sam McMahon, we don't need to. JT Ryan, Auburn and LSU are looking at him. Same with Memphis, but not to a huge degree. Bill Reed, why not? And anybody else that we can get is essentially just a bonus, in my opinion. Let's see, tight ends or a linebacker. Oh, there are a couple wide receivers. We'll offer both of them because the wide receivers, if we look at their stats, their speed and acceleration isn't terrible. It's usually just the catching stuff, and that'll skyrocket. Otherwise, I want the linebacker with the rest of the points, and we're gonna take a few out to throw a few scholarship offers around, because worst case scenario, we just cut a lot of guys. And throwing back in towards Bill. Not really putting a whole lot of effort into the recruiting this offseason, just because I know it won't matter a whole lot. Try to get a couple of guys and see what we can sign. See how many guys we have to cut. I will let the CPU auto cut because I'm not too worried about most of the guys this year. This first year, the recruiting isn't really important at all. I kind of want some cereal right now, if I'm being honest. Like some Lucky Charms. I got leftover taco stuff as well. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything today. Sky Woolworth gets the level up. We don't get Chris Miller. He went to fucking Georgia. God damn it. And Sam goes to Auburn. Bastard. We really didn't pick up a whole lot of guys there. We signed a few guys, but none that were really all that impressive. Signing day doesn't matter. Actually, we can take a look at... There's a way to look, right? Yeah, the top classes. I don't think... Yeah, we ranked 122nd out of 126. 5 3-stars, but we need to do a little bit better than that. And Bama pulling in 5 4-stars. 4 5-stars and 10 4-stars to get the top class. And Clemson with 11 4-stars. No 5-stars for Clemson, though. That's going to hurt them. Michigan with the second best class, Oklahoma, Texas, Notre Dame. This is blue blood as fuck. Disgusting. I hate it. I hate every little ounce of it. Also, this is unrealistic. Oregon State with 29, the 29th best recruiting class. I don't believe it. With the Ducks getting 55, it's just not realistic. That's not happening. Especially after the Ducks just got their highest recruiting class in program history. I don't think they're having that big of a drop off. Army being 24th is not good news for this dynasty. That means that they're gonna take off towards the top quicker than normal. We do get a level up. I should put that in. Again, it doesn't really matter when though. We want to figure out what we've got a lot of, and that's gonna be linemen and whatnot. Actually, a solid amount of wide receivers. One tight end, or one extra tight end, I think. We look pretty solid. We could use a center. So, like, we'll take, let's see, does one of these guys get better at center? Or do both of them? 61 overall. That works. Our backup is awful. And, yeah, I do remember when 4 Bama almost got in the natty. That was a load of shit. They're cheaters, all right? A lot of right tackles. We're going to go ahead and throw... Well, actually, let's look at what else we got. That's our left tackle was fine. We could use another left guard or another center. That's what we're going to yoink one of these guys from. I think one a center and one a left guard. It's gonna we won't 6'7" is the cutoff. But every year I'm gonna pick one player on offense and defense to also just jack up their stuff a little, jack up their height a little bit more, and cut down their stats just a smidge, because as it stands, the highest I've seen is kicker, one punter. The highest I've seen player-wise is 6'7", and you know what? We will do that. We will switch a wide receiver to running back. That's a great idea. Ron Dowdle, who we just picked up, the JUCO guy, he's fast as fuck. Do we want speed? I can't move Bobo or Vandermeulen. Babcock is really fast. We're gonna have to move one of these guys over. Dowdle's a junior. We're gonna move both of those. Actually, no. We want a target that can go deep this year, so we're gonna move Babcock and redshirt him this year, and then grab. Shit. Some of these guys are just bad. Well, I don't want to move Dowdle over to the running back spot, but I'm not fully against it. I can't move my best wide receiver. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We need some speed at the running back position, and I think that's our best way to get it. Question is, how many of these guys work out somewhere else? We'll just move one guy over. We'll just let everything sit that way. Train them, see how everything shakes out. I'm curious to see if anybody really jumps up. And who knows what that leaves us with. We should have some really solid looking players now. +5, +7, okay. Okay. Lyra goes up +4. This is good news. Nobody's getting super quick. Medley goes up +5. He gets a little bit faster, but probably going to come in his passing. And that accuracy is going to be huge. Oh, it's going to be... we're thinking 8. We're thinking we double it. Minimum of a bowl game. I'm going to redshirt pretty much both Slaughter and Irons. I If they have to play, they have to play. Thompson will be nice to have back. Otherwise, it's going to be interesting. We've got some decent receivers now. So, I don't know. I think we're looking all right. Let's look at like our linebackers. 91 for Hendricks, 88 for Boone, 80 for Arrington. It's tempting to take Culp and move him to a right side linebacker, but we'll probably be fine. Decent speed for our corners. That +1 on all of them certainly will help. And the safeties getting better. Overall, I think we're gonna be pretty solid. I'll just come out and say it. This is a national championship season. No doubt in my mind. I don't know what the CPU cut some players, so who knows what we're left with? Because I don't care enough. No custom conference decisions that we need to make here. And I mean, it depends. If we want to kick off our national championship season with some wins, we might schedule something that's not crazy, or we really get it kicked off and we schedule 3 ranked opponents so that we can have 3 we'll play at Texas. 3 ranked wins will certainly help get us into the polls early. This is an all or nothing season for Sky Woolworth as head coach. He's come out, he's announced his position, and anything short of a conference championship and potentially a national championship, he retires out of shame. Oh, our depth chart is going to be one hell of a looker. I think our backup running back is going to be our speedy boy now. Yes, he is black. He's based off of kind of Damian Lillard, but only loosely. It's a long story. See, oh god. You know, I don't know if we want to go there. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It's a theory. Again, we're gonna redshirt a lot of players, I think. Running back, Huff is gonna get sat, but Dowdle is not, because we want Dowdle as our backup. Nate Nolan. Man, Nate had a lot of carries last year, and it makes sense why he was so damn slow. 68 speed, 79 acceleration. Certainly not great. We have 2 Dowdles in the backfield. Didi and Ron, they got separated at birth, and that's they were 1 year apart or something. Who knows? Drafts do want Bama, so we're taking Texas and Bama at this point. You know, there's a lot of things that should be happening hybrid, but that's not gonna happen. We will go Alabama, Atlanta. It's better than having to go to Alabama. That's for sure. Let's see. These guys are kind of dookie anyways, so we can redshirt them. Tight ends. Carpenter's not going to get anything. He's dookie. Not really feeling it on all of these guys. Is anyone just like absolute garbage that they... Like 69 isn't bad enough to redshirt out of being dookie. The tackle, 64 is. 57 for sure is on the ends. That's fine. Yep. And the corners, we will just sit Manson and hope for the best with the rest of them. Our best safety is there. You know, we're gonna keep Brothers on the red shirt as well, and I hope that that works out for us. Depth chart. We really only have one thing to change. Wait. Lyra is our third string quarterback? He's so dookie. What? I'm gonna set it up with an auto reorder first, because I imagine that the punter's better. Right? Yeah, he's definitely better. This is bizarre. We want as our backup Dowdle, but the fast one. And then behind that we'll put Lyra. Fullback, it will be like that. That's fine. Receiver's gonna be fine. And pretty much everything else is gonna be fine. We're trying mostly to run zone. So guys with better zone coverage are gonna get the nod in situations like this. Rodriguez doesn't count because he's corner. I don't want my corners playing. Anything else? It's all close enough. Yeah, that's good enough. Get our quarterback and running back situation figured out and we should be fine. Custom schedules. So, we have to drop something, which is going to be... Well, shit, why the hell are we gonna have two in a row? We're gonna have a later in the season thing. How do we change the stadium here? They will be considered the home team. There it is. Edit location. What is it actually called? This is not gonna be easy for me. Atlanta. Gotta be one of these at the bottom, right? I can figure this out. There should be, but did I miss it? Because I know what you're talking about, because they do exist. And I've done them before. But I'm feeling... broken. Does it have to? Okay, well let's just see real quick. Is it the bottom? Oh, interesting that it has to be week 2. You're right, hybrid. Thanks. So Bama, we'll switch that one to if it's available Texas. We'll go play in Texas. And then we'll take on Bama. Oh god, this is brutal. And Clemson's the other one that's already scheduled. I need something that we can win. Chick-fil-A kickoff. Not really a neutral site, but it's gonna be rough. We don't need AC. We're from the desert. Clemson. No, we're going to take a bye week there because we don't want double byes late in the season. We'll take our bye there and then play one before Utah State. And we can play... we'll play a cupcake. We'll have them come to us. See, that's not so bad. At Texas, Bama at a neutral site, and Idaho? Listen. When you're going on a national championship run, you need one easy game. And our recruiting board is going to be super easy to set up. Because we're just grabbing the top guys and throwing them in immediately. And we'll play the Texas game as well, and then we'll call it Gucci. I didn't even take a look at anything else. Let's see. Nope. Height 6'7" is 7, except I'm pretty sure everybody will be 6'7". And Darren West. Ooh, we got a 5-star guy. Actually, we've got a 3-star wide receiver who's very interested in us. He knows the deal. A lot of tight ends at the top. We're just gonna run a full tight end set. Although that's what tight ends is how we can get some skill players. We want a quarterback. Basically grabbing most of these guys because there's not a huge amount of them to begin with, and we're gonna be scouting and looking for hopefully one of them to be stand out. But look, it's just all like tackles and tight ends essentially. Let's see. Any sort of special positions? No. It doesn't matter if we just grab everybody and give them some scouts. Oh man, hybrid, how easy is that shit? I don't think we can put any points towards people, right? We can just scout. And we'll hope for the best. Darren West, we have almost no chance of grabbing him. But one of these solid players would be absolutely incredible. Because there's a lot of really good tight ends here. There's our first bust of the year. And our first gem of the year in Avery Davis, the tackle. I'd like to keep finding more of those. We had a James Williams last year who we weren't able to recruit. Apparently a very common name for tall men. I'd like to see these go up. More bust. Hybrid, I found your busts. There's a 4th. Oh my gosh. Some of these guys are straight bad. We zero that by overall. Just immediately we're going to lose a couple players to the sadness. I don't want some of these guys. Bust. It just makes me sad. Get into week 1, play this game. Our backup running back, I think, is going to be essential. And having our starting running back as well, because Lyra, who had to start the second half of the season, was the backup going into the season. So we lost our starter to like a torn pectoral, and we had to go, you know, dip into the 4th string every once in a while, and that's ridiculous, Jeff. 18 5-stars in a class. That's just absurd. That's the that's an unstoppable class. If we can win this game against Texas, I'm curious to know what we'll be ranked at and what we're ranked at right now. They predicted us as being like in the 40s or the 20s or something this season. And so long as we can win some games. I mean, we won our last 2. We bring that momentum into this game in Texas. It's not going to be easy. Sky Woolworth's level 5. I think we already knew that. I'll just double check to make sure that I've used the level ups. And let's check out ESPN just to look. Let's see, the championship contenders. We're sitting at 89 right now. Not bad. Not bad. And Texas is 6th.